CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Pastrana, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Neighbors in Winwood are on edge right now. Police are searching for armed suspects who shot two people in an early morning home invasion in their high-rise apartment. CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner has the latest.
In addition to two men being shot in the leg, we're told that a third person was injured. They were pistol whipped in the head. Just after midnight Thursday morning, City of Miami police said 3 armed suspects broke into this apartment building on North Miami Avenue in Winwood and made their way into a unit.
I heard a shot go off, and I heard a man screaming, and then like maybe 15 seconds later, you hear like another 5 to 7 shots go off.
This man, who did not want to be identified, said he heard this happen on the floor above his.
I would have never thought it would happen, but sometimes you just can't never be too safe.
Police said the suspects targeted the unit.
3 armed men came into this apartment demanding money and demanding jewelry. The 2 victims that were there tried to fight for the gun. Well, the gun went off, shot one of the victims, and then a neighbor was also shot in the leg. The second victim that was in the apartment was hit over the head, pistol whipped, and that's how he suffered his injuries.
Paramedics transported the 2 gunshot victims to Ryder Trauma, and they are stable.
I've been living here for I want to say the past 7 years. A lot has changed, but as far as safety goes, not much goes on here besides, people coming at night and, partying in the bars and whatnot like that.
Legend Tarver lives across the street and says Winwood is a good area to live, but Salvatore Mazzola lives in the building where the shooting happened, and he says the area and his building are sketchy.
If you go to the pool, you see people with ankle monitors at the pool. It's just not the type of people you would think that could afford this.
And especially now, he wants out.
It doesn't make me feel safe. It makes me feel like I should be getting on this building even faster than I wanted to.
City of Miami police are now asking for our viewers' help. Did you see a suspicious car in the area at that time? Did you see a car speed by? Do you happen to know anything about those 3 armed suspects? You are asked to call City of Miami police. In Winwood, Morgan Reiner, CBS News, Miami.
Always tracking, always alerting. This is Next Weather.
Sure is steamy out there, and the rain we got didn't really help cool us down. It acted like a sauna.
Worse.
You
either rain or don't, please. You get the shower and then it evaporates, and all of a sudden you're just in a steam room here. It's not very pleasant whatsoever. Now, the thing is, though, we are today, as we've been talking about the last few days, transitioning into what will be a drier pattern with the Saharan dust. But we've still got a few showers left over, so let's talk about it, because on a southeast wind, we got some pretty good downpours right now across portions of southern Miami-Dade, specifically now through Homestead here. That is moderate to heavy shower activity. The thing is, though, it's moving pretty quickly, so it'll be out of your way in just a few minutes there. Modella getting in on the rainfall. This will be over the Everglades, but there's a little bit more to the east, so we got more there. And then you have to look around, kind of like with the magnifying glass, but one little shower popping up. That is just to the north of Okeechobee there, east of the Turnpike. That will also be headed off to the west. That's the pattern. That's our southeast wind, but look what's on top of us here, battling it out with the showers and even some thunderstorms out across the southwestern part of the peninsula. It's the Saharan dust. Welcome back, and it is going to continue to get pumped in by the Bermuda high, so it's traveling along the entire Caribbean stretch and then hooking up to the north and coming right on top of us here, and that's what's going to give us the very low rain chances for the next few days. But as you step out for the rest of tonight, again, those few showers just continuing to move off towards the west. I think we're going to be progressively drying out, so we'll become more isolated as opposed to the scattered showers we had from earlier today. So through tonight and into tomorrow, you'll be seeing less coverage. Now at night, you can still, because the lowest levels of the atmosphere still got a little moisture available from the water here, so we could still see a few showers. That's in the forecast there through late tonight and overnight. But even for tomorrow, I think even less coverage than today as we kick off your weekend here. Looking pretty dry to me right now. Coverage 10 to 20%. I think that's about right for the extended period here, not just the upcoming weekend, but that is the dust that's coming in. And it's also helping us out in the tropics with your update here. Nothing expected over the next 7 days. It is quiet as can be out there. A lot of strong wind in the central and eastern Atlantic. We got all that dust further west, so not looking for any development, at least for the next 7. Temps in the upper 80s tomorrow. No change. That's average for this time of year. You factor in the humidity, it'll feel a little bit warmer, certainly. If you get one of those very few isolated showers, as Lauren was saying, it really does steam things up. Here is the forecast then for tomorrow. In the morning, that's our best shot at seeing any kind of precip, and that would be through the early part of the day. As we get warmer and warmer, we get drier and drier throughout the afternoon, so it's not going to be much. It's going to be dry. So let's check in on the Father's Day forecast, and for the weekend, really still dry. It will be hazy sunshine for Dad. It's going to be a warm one, but a dry one with temperatures peaking out around 87, 89, depending on where you are. A little bit cooler with the southeast wind along the coast, a bit warmer inland, and that's the forecast there for the next 7 days. Steady as we go. Rain chances minimal for this time of year over the next 7 days, guys.
Ivan, thank you. And we are in hurricane season, so the Next Weather team is making sure you're prepared. Just scan the QR code and find all the tools you need to help get you ready. You can also find our 1-hour special, which has important information for you and your family this hurricane season. Just go to cbsmiami.com. Now, dramatic video shows the aftermath of an Air India jet that crashed and burned in western India shortly after takeoff. More than 240 people were on board. Incredibly, one man survived, according to a doctor who treated him at a local hospital. CBS News correspondent Chris Livesay reports from London.
The final moments of Air India 171 bound for London were captured on video minutes after takeoff from Ahmedabad, India. It quickly lost altitude and exploded in a fireball.
It was leaving with a full capacity of fuel. So we're looking at about 130 tons of fuel that were on the aircraft. That caused a massive explosion, and as a result, the damage on the scene will be intense.
Incredibly, a man apparently survived the crash. A doctor at a nearby hospital told the Associated Press he treated the passenger, saying he was disoriented and had multiple injuries, but appears to be out of danger. The plane's tail ended up sticking out of a building that was part of a medical college in the northwestern Indian city. Firefighters doused the smoking wreckage with water.
The plane heading here to Gatwick Airport was carrying mostly Indian nationals. Air India says there were also more than 50 Britons on board, as well as Canadian and Portuguese citizens.
It was a horrific crash. It looks like most are gone.
The Boeing 787-8 went down after a mayday call from the plane. It's the first crash of a 787 Dreamliner, according to an aviation database.
This is a difficult day for all of us at Air India, and our efforts now are focused entirely on the needs of our passengers, crew members, their families, and loved ones.
Boeing's president and CEO expressed condolences to victims' families and pledged the company's support in the investigation. A team from the National Transportation Safety Board is heading to India to assist that effort. Chris Livesay, CBS News, London.
Now to the ongoing protests against the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. A curfew helped calm things down overnight in Los Angeles as the demonstrators expand to other cities. Students at Florida International University rallied this morning. They're against the school police department's agreement to help with immigration enforcement. Faculty, students, and immigration advocates came together at the main campus in West Miami-Dade. They say they are concerned the agreement will lead to racial profiling and false arrests. And there are a number of planned protests Saturday right here in South Florida. Protesters are set to gather in front of the Torch of Friendship in downtown Miami, Pride Park in Miami Beach, Fort Lauderdale Beach, and Homestead. These are part of the so-called No Kings movement, a nationwide protest to the large military parade in Washington, D.C. on Saturday in celebration of the 250th anniversary of the United States Army. We're just hours away from Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Panthers are just 2 wins away from becoming back-to-back champs. The Cats say they are trying to stay focused after Game 3 and keep their momentum going after an explosive 6-1 win. Look for a live report from Amerant Bank Arena with our Mike Cunio on CBS News Miami at 5 o'clock. When we come back, the latest on tensions between Israel and Iran and how the U.S. government is responding. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. The U.S. government is telling Americans within striking distance of Iranian forces to move out of the Middle East as tensions escalate between Iran and Israel. CBS News Miami's Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
Sources tell CBS News that Israel is ready to launch an operation in Iran, triggering concern Iran could retaliate on U.S. sites in neighboring Iraq. The State Department ordered non-emergency U.S. personnel to leave Iraq, citing heightened regional tensions, and the Pentagon has authorized military family members to voluntarily leave locations throughout the Middle East.
We have a lot of American people in this area, and I said, we got to tell them to get out because something could happen soon. And I don't want to be the one that didn't give any warning.
The alert comes as the Trump administration special envoy to the Middle East is expected to meet for a 6th round of talks with Iran about a potential nuclear deal.
I'd love to avoid the conflict. Iran's going to have to negotiate a little bit tougher, meaning they're going to have to give us some things that they're not willing to give us right now.
President Trump has said he will not accept any uranium enrichment by Iran. Iranian leaders say they want to enrich for civilian power plants. Just today, the UN's nuclear watchdog agency said Iran is not complying with its nuclear obligations. A recent report showed increased stockpiles of near weapons-grade uranium.
Iran is at the enrichment point with uranium higher than they've ever been.
CBS News contributor Andrew Boyd is the former chief of operations for the CIA's Counterterrorism Mission Center.
Iran is in a fairly weak position. The problem is I do not think that the Israeli military could sustain a war with Iran without U.S. support, and I think the Trump administration is not interested in joining the Israelis currently in a war with Iran.
CBS News has learned the Trump administration as of now is not planning a joint strike with Israel, but is weighing support options such as intelligence sharing. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The judge in Harvey Weinstein's sex crimes case declared a mistrial on the remaining rape charge. This comes a day after the jury delivered a partial verdict in his sex crimes retrial. The jury got stuck on a third charge. It was a rape accusation from 2013. The foreperson complained that he felt bullied by other jurors who he says yelled at him to try to change his mind. He said this morning that he would not go back into the jury room because he feared for his safety. That's CBS News Miami's Quickcast. I'm Lauren Pastrana. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS Miami.